Hello, today's lesson is on the percent of change, and the percent of change indicates how much a quantity increases or decreases with respect to the original amount. And for today's lesson, we're going to be using this equation right here, that the quantity of increase or decrease, depending on what we're talking about, equals the percent times the whole, or the original amount. This is very similar to yesterday's equation, part equals percent times whole. Let's look at example 1 to make sense of this equation. John bought more trading cards for his collection so that he now has 20 cards. He originally had 15 cards. What is the percent of increase? I know that this is an increase because if he started with 15 cards and now has 20 cards, the amount of cards in his collection has gone up or increased. So we first want to figure out, well, how much has his card collection gone up? If he has 20 cards now, and he started with 15, that means that the quantity of increase would be 5 cards. So our equation is going to be 5 equals percent, which we don't know, times the whole, or the original amount. Remember, he originally started with 15 cards. So to get this percent of increase, I'm going to divide both sides by 15 to get P by itself. So 5 divided by 15 is 0.3 repeating. But that's a decimal right now. And remember, to change a decimal to a percent, you multiply by 100. Or you can move the decimal to place values, tenths, hundredths. So the percent of increase would be a 33.3 repeating percent increase. All right, let's try another one. In 1970, the price of gas was $1.70. In 2010, the price of gas was $2.95. Find the percent of change in the cost of gasoline from 1970 to 2010. Round to the nearest tenth of a percent. So I know that this is an example of percent of increase because the price of gas is increasing from 170 to 295. So to figure out that amount that it's increasing, we're going to find the difference of the two numbers. So from 1970 to 2010, the price of gas increased by $1.25. And remember, our equation is the amount of increase equals percent times whole. And the whole is always our original amount because we're figuring out from that original, did it increase or decrease? And it increased off of the $1.70 price. So to get the percent of increase, or to get P by itself, we're going to divide both sides by $1.70. So on your calculator, do $1.25 divided by $1.70. And when you do that, you're going to get the decimal 0.7352. So right now it's a decimal. To change a decimal to a percent, we need to multiply by 100. So when you do that on your calculator, or you can move the decimal place tenths, hundredths. So that would be a 73.5% increase. And I left that as a 5 because the 2 would leave the 5 alone in that tenths place value. All right, let's try some examples without word problems with just numbers. So if our original amount was 55 and our new amount was 143, we can tell here that that amount is going up, or it's increasing. So we want to figure out the quantity of increase, how much it's increasing. So we're going to find the difference of the two numbers. And that means from 55 to 143, it's increasing by 88. So the quantity of increase equals the percent times the original amount, or the whole. And remember, we want to use that original because that's where it's increasing or decreasing from. So to get the percent by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 55. Now I can tell right here that my percent is going to be over 100 because my part is bigger than my whole. So I should have over 100%. So on your calculator, do 88 divided by 55, and you should get 1.6. So that's as a decimal. So to change it to a percent, I'm going to multiply by 100. So this would be 160% increase. Go ahead and pause the video and try the next one by yourself. For that one, you should have got a 25% increase. Okay, let's go on to examples of percent of change where it's decreasing. All right, Ken said that he's going to reduce the number of calories that he eats during the day. Ken reduced the amount of calories he consumed from 2,500 calories to 2,200 calories per day. What percent did Ken reduce his calorie intake? We know that this is a decrease because he started eating 2,500 calories a day, and now he's going to reduce, that means to decrease or lower the amount of calories he's eating per day to 2,200. So this amount of decrease would be 300 calories. He's going to eat 300 calories less every day now. And that's going to equal the percent times the whole. Now remember, the whole is the original amount. So for that, it's going to be the 2,500 because that's the amount he wants to decrease his calorie intake from. So to get the percent, I'm going to divide both sides by 2,500. So on your calculator, do 300 divided by 2,500. And when you do that, you're going to get the decimal 0.12 or 12 hundredths. So to change it to a percent, I'm going to multiply by 100. So this would be an example of a 12% decrease. He wants to decrease the amount of calories he's eating every day by 12%. Let's try one more percent of decrease example. Last month, 349 books were checked out from the school library. This month, 273 books were checked out. Find the percent of decrease in the number of books checked out. Round to the nearest whole percent. So we started with 349, but then there was only 273 books checked out, so I can tell that's going down. It's decreasing, the amount of books being checked out. So the amount of decrease, when you subtract those numbers, would be 76 books. So 76 equals percent times whole, and remember the whole is the original amount. So originally there was 349 books checked out, so we're going to use that for our equation. We're going to divide both sides by 349. So on your calculator, do 76 divided by 349, and you're going to get the decimal 0.217. To change it to a percent, we want to multiply by 100. So that would be 21.7%. However, in the directions, it said round to the nearest whole percent. So as a whole number, the 7 would actually round the 1 up. So this would be a 22% decrease. Okay, let's try two examples without word problems. If our original is 20 and our new is 15, I can tell that that's decreasing because it's going down in value. So how much is it decreasing? Well, 20 to 15 means it's decreasing by 5. So 5 equals our percent times whole. And remember, for the whole, you always use the original because that original amount is where it is increasing or decreasing from. So I'm going to divide both sides by 20 to get p by itself. And you should get 0.25 when you type in 5 divided by 20 on the calculator. That's a decimal, so to change it to a percent, I'm going to multiply by 100. So this would be a 25% decrease. All right, go ahead and try the very last one on your own. Look over your work and see how you did. For this one, you should have got a 53.3 repeating percent decrease. Or another way you could write that is 53.33% decrease. That would be correct as well. All right, that's the percent of change video. We will see you later. Bye-bye.